Anybody needs to watch it later. Okay, so let's get started with the 2020 AP testing guide. Okay, so in Canvas, under today's date, where you found the link to this meeting, there are a couple things that you need to take note of and look at. The first thing is the AP exam day checklist. And I have a PDF file here, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. The next thing that I need you to do today is to do the AP exam demo. So I will email you in your Canvas email with your AP ID. You can find that in AP Classroom if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and email it to everybody. So you need the AP ID, and I'm going to send you your email that you have listed in AP Classroom, just so you know what email things are being sent to. So I'll send that out after we get off the call, and then I'm going to upload the PowerPoint from today, and I'm going to upload a recording of this video to YouTube, and then you can watch it again if you need to. After you have watched this video or participated in the video and you have tried to do the demo, then I want you to take a graded quiz in Canvas, because I have a couple of important questions that I need to know the answers to. So just make sure that after you do the AP exam demo that you go in and take this little quiz for me, so I can make sure that you know and you're prepared for everything that you need. Okay, so this is the official AP College Board guide, and I will put this in Canvas as well. And it's basically just saying this is the testing guide. You need the exam day checklist and the testing demo. So I've already covered that information. So this is what it will look like when you click on that link to go in to do the demo. And like it says here, you need your 8-character AP ID, so I will email that to you, and you'll just hit continue. It'll ask you a couple questions. You'll go through a little bit of a practice exam. So it's important that you do this on the technology that you're going to use on exam day, whatever that is. If it's your computer, which I suggest you use your computer, your phone, tablet, whatever, make sure that you do the demo on the same device that you are going to use for the AP exam. Okay, this is what the AP exam checklist looks like, but again, the PDF file is going to be on Canvas, so you can see it's just, they highly recommend that you print this out and have it with you, so you know you've covered all your bases and you know everything that you need to know before you start the exam. So I do want you to go to Canvas and download that file and make sure that you have it printed out, because you don't want to have too many things on your computer screen. Make sure that you have it printed out and right there with you on exam day. Okay, so I'm going to go through what's in this guide, and I only included the slides on here that are pertinent to you. So we'll go through about your AP exam e-ticket, 5 steps to take before exam day, and then exam scores and credit and placement. All right, so first, most important thing is about your AP exam ticket. You are going to receive your e-ticket by email 2 days before your exam, okay? And you will need this e-ticket to be able to check into your exam. Everybody is getting a unique ticket, so do not share your ticket with anyone else. It is personalized to you. It is not transferable. Do not forward the email to another email. If you do that, that is going to send up a flag to the AP exam board, and they're going to think it's potential fraud. So if you put your parents' email in your college board account, you may want to go in and change it so that this is going directly to you. And I can help you with that if you need help to change your email address. So don't share your ticket. Don't forward the email. On the right side here, this is what your ticket will look like. It will have your name. It It will have your AP ID, and then it will have a link for you to go to the exam. If you are having trouble getting emails from the College Board, don't worry, you can still just go into AP Classroom and access your ticket that way. So it's really important that you are aware that you can get it through email or you can get it through AP Classroom. Make sure that you save your e-ticket email just in case you need to make up the exam. If something goes wrong and you need to make it up, make sure that you save that e-ticket. All right, so your e-ticket will be valid for the May exam schedule. Our test is Tuesday, May 12th at 4 p.m. You have to take it at this time. This test is being given to everyone across the world all at the exact same time. That's why we have different time zones. So you can't not take it during this time unless you have an extreme reason, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So make sure that you have this somewhere in your calendar. I'm of course going to send you out a remind message that says, hey guys, it's time for the exam, but I don't think you'll forget. There is a June makeup date. If you have an issue, that you can take it on Monday, June 1st, and it would be at 2 p.m. But I don't want you to worry about that right now unless you just know that you can't do it next Tuesday. And if you know you can't do it next Tuesday, please let me know. But other than that, don't worry about the June makeup date unless it will apply to you, and then we can talk about it. Okay, so what to expect on this year's exams. This is really important information. They're saying it won't be more difficult to earn a 3, a 4, or a 5 this year. I know a lot of people are concerned because there's no multiple choice section, and students tend to do very well on multiple choice sections, but don't worry about it. Just stay calm and read each part of the question, and all you have to do is simply show what you know and what you can do within the time that you have. AP exams are never graded on a curve, and this year's exam is no different. You're not competing against other students. There's no maximum or minimum number of students who can receive a specific score. All students who earn the required points will get scores of 3, 4, or 5. This is the most important part on this slide. You do not need to worry if you don't complete all parts of the question before you need to attach and submit your response. So to give you as many different chances to demonstrate what you know, a question may have more parts that can be answered than in the time allowed. So what this says to me is, and to other AP Human Geography teachers, is you need to tackle the parts of the question that you know first. And you do not have to answer in order. So if it's question 1 and you want to do A, C, D, E, whatever, you can do it in any order that you want to. Just make sure that you label it A, B, C. Make sure that you label it. Because if you don't label it, they don't know what they're going to score. They don't know what you're answering. So you don't have to complete all parts of the question. You want to complete those parts that you know. And I like this little part on the right side here. It says, remember that if you see a part of a question that feels unfamiliar to you, stick with it. It may be asking you to use your knowledge and skills to analyze a new situation. So stay calm and look for ways to apply whatever you see on the exam. And the video that you guys did and took notes on about the ESPN plus DC, I would highly recommend that you have that either written out or printed out and keep it near you when you're doing your exam, because that's going to help you remember how to apply things to social, economic, political, and so forth. Any questions about anything I've covered so far? If you have a question, you can just unmute your mic and just ask me. No? Okay.
I actually have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, I'm not really picking up what they're saying whenever they say that you don't need to complete all parts of the question.
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, how many do you actually need to do to get a 5? Like, you can't just do one of the
No,
question, right?
you can't just do one part of the question. You want to
Okay,
try
yeah,
and
that's what I was
do
thinking.
you want to try and do as much as you can because that is going to give you a better chance to get a better score. So
Oh, okay.
absolutely try to do everything, but if you're not able to complete all of it, don't worry about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're not saying just do one part and don't try. No, you need to try and do everything that you can. And I recommend starting with what you know that you know and saving the harder stuff for the last bit. So if you don't get to it, then it's no big deal.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions about that? No? Okay. If you do have a question, just feel free to unmute and chime in, but do mute your mic if you're not asking a question. Okay. All right, so the exam questions are going to be viewed by students in a web browser like Chrome. If you have Internet Explorer, the exam will not work in Internet Explorer, so make sure that you are not using Internet Explorer. So there are 3 different ways to submit your responses. You can copy and paste a typed response, you can attach a typed response, or you can attach one or more photos of a handwritten response. So I'm going to go through these individually so you understand your options. All right, so option 1 is copy and paste a typed response and then hit submit. So you would want to type your response in a Google Doc or Microsoft Word or Notes or a similar application and save your work often. You need to, if you're going to do this, I would suggest a day before the test that you create a Word document, you save that Word document to your desktop or somewhere where it's easily accessible. Go ahead and type your AP ID and your initials at the top of that document, and that way you can make sure that it is going to auto save while you're working in the document. You don't want to lose your work. So definitely go ahead and create that document. Go ahead and put your AP ID and initials at the top so that you have it. And Word will generally auto save, and Google Docs, they'll auto save. So make sure that you do that before the exam starts. You don't want to waste your time during the exam to do that. So when the timer has 5 minutes remaining, you're going to copy and paste your response into the space indicated and click submit. So here's your exam day setup. You're going to have 2 windows open on your computer. The first window will be either Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge, where you have the question appearing and it will show the timer and it will have the box for you to paste and submit your typed response. You're not going to be able to type in that box. You can only copy and paste. So you have to type your answer somewhere else. So you want to have 2 screens open. So you have your browser and then you have your Word document open so that you can type it and paste it. Any questions about that? About the first way? I think that's the optimal way of doing it, but I'll show you the other 2. Option 2 is to attach a document and then click submit. So basically same principle that you are doing this in a Google Docs or a Microsoft Word. Go ahead, again, do this before the test, save it, and then when the timer says that you have 5 minutes remaining, you'll just attach your response and click submit. So if your exam has 2 questions, which it does, you must create, save, and attach and submit 2 separate documents, one for each question. So you might want to go ahead and create 2 documents before you even get started on the test. So this is the same side-by-side window instructions that you need to have your browser open and the Microsoft document. Questions about that one? Okay, the third and least optimal, I think, I would not choose this choice, but some of you may want to do this. Option 3 is to attach a photo of a handwritten response and click submit. So this would require you to write it on a piece of paper, using dark pen or pencil. You have to use white paper. You have to do your AP, ID, and initials and number each page at the top of your response. And then you have 5 minutes to take pictures of your response and then upload it. So if you're taking pictures on your phone, but you have the question open on your computer, then you would have to email or text or something the picture to your computer so that you could upload it. And I think that's going to take a lot of time, and I think that's going to take time that you don't want to spend. So I would not recommend this option unless you just feel really comfortable using pen and paper and really want to do it that way. If you want to do it, go for it. But just know that you need to kind of practice uploading if you're going to do it this way. Questions about this one? Okay. All right, requesting a makeup exam. If you have an issue on exam day that prevents you from testing successfully, then you'll be directed to an online AP makeup testing request form, and you can request an e-ticket for the June makeup. So the form is right here. The link is in the file that I will upload to Canvas. You must have your original e-ticket when you're filling out the form, and you must submit the form within 48 hours of your original exam date. So if you don't do that, they are not going to let you make it up. Also, you'll get approval if it's an issue of sickness or interruptions from family members or battery failures or power outages or technical disruptions. This is not simply that you ran out of time or, that you, I don't know, maybe forgot to take the test. They're going to ask you for your specific reason why you need to make up the exam. So let's just shoot for taking the exam at the proper time if we can. If you have an issue that you already know about and you can't do it next Tuesday, then please let me know. Okay, 5 steps to take before the exam day. You're going to review your contact information, check your technology, practice submitting your response, gather what you need for each exam, and receive your exam confirmation and e-ticket emails. So I'm going to go through each one of these. All right, first thing is if you haven't already received an email update from the AP program, you need to go in and make sure that your email address is correct. In your account settings, confirm that that's the email that you want to receive your e-ticket from. There is a subscriptions setting within your account settings, and you need to confirm that you checked the box to receive updates from the College Board. If you have opted out of subscriptions, then that maybe prevent you from getting your email. If your email is your student email, then you should have no problem receiving emails from the College Board, as the school system already went in and put this new contact in our email addresses so that you'll get it. Okay. Next thing to do is check your tech. Choose your device. Check that you have an appropriate device for your exam and how you're planning to create your response. So you want to go ahead and plan that. You don't need a lockdown browser on your device, so you don't have to worry about that. If anyone has a Grammarly plugin on your computer, you need to remove it before the test. You cannot take the test if you have Grammarly on your computer. So if you don't know, maybe check and see if you have it. If you're using like a parent's computer, maybe ask them if they have Grammarly installed. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the bottom part of that slide because that doesn't really apply to us. Okay, decide if you're going to use Google Docs, Word, Notes, or whatever. Recommend turning on the autosave feature so that it's going to continually back up while you are typing in your document. Remember that if you are using a cloud document like Google Docs and want to attach your document, remember you'll need to download your response and then save it to your device before you upload it. Before the test day, prepare your docs by typing in your AP ID and initials at the top and saving it to a clearly labeled folder on your desktop where it will be easy to find. And remember, we do have two exams, so you need to save 2 documents. All right, if you're going to use paper, just make sure that you have a standard piece of paper, 8.5 by 11 inches, that it's white. It can be lined or unlined. You can use a number 2 pencil or a pen with blue or black ink. The most number of pages that you can attach is 5. So I don't think you'll need that many, but just make sure that you have your pages numbered if you're going to use physical pages to do your exam on. Okay, check your browser. So the AP exam, again, will only be in the latest versions of Chrome, which is the preferred method, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. Again, the exams will not work in Internet Explorer, so make sure that you are not using that. Make sure that Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge is your default browser, so you can send yourself an email to a website and see where it pops up. And then, again, just disable any browser plugins or extensions such as Grammarly. Okay, so practice submitting your responses with the exam demo. So today they opened the exam demo. I'm going to send you your AP ID and the email that is listed in AP Classroom, and the link is in Canvas. So after you finish this, you can go and do the demo and make sure that you can do the exam. And again, do this on the device that you're going to use for the actual AP exam so you know that it works. All right, what you need on exam day, you need your exam e-ticket email, you need the exam day checklist, including your AP ID, you need whatever device you're going to use. Make sure that you have a Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge. Make sure you have a good internet or cell connection. Any assistive devices, I don't think that applies to anyone. And then make sure you have your Word or Google Doc. You can have your class notes or study guides. You can have textbooks and other classroom resources or previous assignments or assessments. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Okay, so here you can use class resources and class notes on this year's AP exam. The following resources can be used either digital or printed: class notes or study guides, textbooks and other classroom resources, previous assignments or assessments. If you have shared study notes, they must be downloaded to each student's device to prevent collaboration violations. And the AP College Board has a ton of very sophisticated anti-plagiarism practices in place, so let's not do that because the consequences of being caught cheating on this exam are severe. Do not do internet searches. This will waste your time and it will put you at risk of an exam violation. The more time you spend searching on the web, the less time you will spend answering questions. So, and do not copy from websites or social media or online forums. That's considered plagiarism. Hey, Brock. Brock, can you mute your mic, please? Thank you. Okay. So you will receive your exam e-ticket 2 days before the exam. So you'll receive it on Sunday, May 10th, because the exam is on Tuesday, May 12th. So you definitely want to check your email, and I will send you a reminder on Sunday to check and make sure that you received the email with your personalized e-ticket. All right, and I told you about the checklist. Not going to worry about that. Okay, exam day. This is important. So 2-question exams. 30 minutes before your exam, which would be 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday, May 12th, you want to check in using your e-ticket. It's going to ask you to complete some identity information, and then you'll just wait for the exam to begin. It will begin automatically. You do not need to refresh your page. Do not refresh your page. It will mess things up. So you'll have 25 minutes after question 1 appears to read the question and develop your response. And then it will give you a warning and you have 5 minutes to submit your response. If you go into that 5-minute time, you are being risky. Okay, I know that when we did FRQs in class, some people would go a little bit over. I would not suggest that in this instance. Get it done in 25 minutes. Give yourself the 5 minutes to upload to make sure that your response is submitted. Then you'll have 15 minutes for question number 2 to read the question and develop your response, and then another 5 minutes to submit that response. All right, so do your best to be by yourself in a quiet room, remove distractions, enable the do not disturb or quiet setting on your device or your phone. Let everybody know in the house that they shouldn't disturb you, on social media maybe that they shouldn't disturb you. Make sure your device is plugged in, that it's charged, that you have, if you have limited bandwidth, make sure that other people are off the internet during your exam. Like my daughter was streaming Netflix a minute ago and I said, you need to get off so I can make sure this video works. And then have your checklist and any required documents next to you. All right, exam security. You may not incorporate work which is not your own, and you may not provide or receive aid of any kind from anyone. So to identify students attempting to receive help through the web, a phone, or social media, they have sophisticated detection technologies and processes that will be applied. Most techniques will remain confidential to maximize their effectiveness. Attempts to cheat will be immediately detected during testing, or will be identified in June or July simultaneously with exam scoring. So your test is going to be scanned by plagiarism detection software, and your exams are going to be shared directly with me. So I am going to be able to see your exams, and if I notice that 2 of your exams look very similar, then I'm going to have to say something. So students found violating exam security will face severe consequences, which can include having their names reported to college admissions offices for attempted cheating and having your AP exam scores canceled. It is not worth it. Please do not do that. It just doesn't make any sense to do that. You guys are prepared. You don't need to do that. Okay, so check into your exam. Check in 30 minutes before the start time. You'll have to go through a few security filters to confirm your identity, and then you'll see a timer like this that shows when the exam will start. Once the exam starts, the first question will automatically appear. Don't refresh your browser. For most exams, the question is divided into parts. It's labeled in alphabetical order, so use those letters to organize your response and make sure you're not accidentally skipping any part. You can use spell check, you can use grammar check, but don't use Grammarly. Make sure it's unplugged. You may print the test questions and annotate them if you want to, but you cannot use annotation software to do it online. That's just going to take up a lot of time. I really wouldn't suggest it. You won't be able to move on to the second question until the time for the first question has fully elapsed. So use all of the time that you have for that question. What else are you going to do? Just sit and stare at the timer? Just refine your answers and make them the best that you can until that timer says your time is up and you need to upload. All right, so you will see a timer on the side or the bottom of your screen. Keep that timer visible. If you want to set a timer on your phone as well to help you, to make a noise for you, you can do that. But 5 minutes before the time is up, the timer will turn red and you'll see a pop-up reminding you to submit your response. Stop where you are, copy and paste or attach your work, and then submit. You can earn a 5 even if you still don't finish a response, but you have to submit your response on time or you will not get any credit for it. They can't grade something if you don't submit it. So losing track of time and not submitting a response before time runs out is not an acceptable reason for requesting makeup testing. So you want to make sure that you submit your response. So submitting your response is a 2-step process. You are going to attach or paste your response, and then you have to click submit. If you don't click submit before the timer runs out, your response will not count. Once you submit, your response may continue to upload or transfer, but that's fine. You can move on to the next question, and as long as you're still logged in and you submitted before the time ran out, you'll be fine. If your response continues to transfer after the exam ends, you need to make sure that you wait for an on-screen message confirming that your exam is complete, and make sure that your submissions have fully loaded before you close your browser or turn off or restart your computer. If you never see a message that says your AP exam is complete, then you need to go to this website, cb.org, request makeup, to explain the situation and get a ticket for the June test. What could go wrong while you're testing? If you accidentally close the browser, or your device crashes, or you temporarily lose internet access, you can quickly click your exam e-ticket again to return to the exam. Go ahead and continue the exam. If you feel at the end of the exam that the temporary disruption negatively impacted your performance, you can request an approval to take the makeup exam in June. During the exam, very, very important, do not refresh your browser and do not hit the back arrow. And they want us to note that they will not have customer service centers open. So if you have a problem, you just need to request a makeup exam. Okay, AP exams, placement, scores. So as usual, the exams will be scored by AP readers. They are college professors and experienced educators in each exam subject. Scores will be reported on the usual 1 to 5 scale. To accommodate the extended scoring schedule, student scores will be released about July 15th. So we'll let you know, I'll let you know when those scores are available. That is all that I have to present to you. If you have questions, I would love to take a few at this time. You can unmute your mic and ask questions if you want to. Nobody? Comments? No? Okay, so if you don't have any, I'll stay on here for another minute, but I'm going to let everybody else sign off if they're ready to sign off. Just make sure that you take the quiz. Make sure that you do the demo first. Take the quiz. All the information will be in Canvas. Okay? Thank you guys for attending. I know you're going to do awesome on the exam. All right?